Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I am here with my friend Jamie. Hey Jamie, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm doing good. Thanks, Casey.
So Jamie is here to talk about Hallo, and they are hiring again. So I know a lot of people have been asking me about Hallo and when they're going to hire again. So can you tell us a little bit about Hallo and how awesome it is?
Okay, so Hallo is a fast-growing company. We are constantly getting downloads, about 13 to about 15,000 downloads a week.
Wow.
And we have a huge community of students that love to come and use our platform because it's very social and interactive. So the students can talk with each other. They can hop on, which is where they talk face to face and they have great conversations with each other. But we also provide amazing teachers. And so our teachers come in and they help to refine the skills that these students are trying to develop in the English language. And the fun thing is with our teacher community, we don't have a set curriculum that you just teach. So, I would say that some people see this as a pro or a con. So I don't know which way you lean, but for me, I love it because I get to bring a lot of my own creativity to the lessons. And there's so many resources online. You can like Google ESL games, and then you can adapt that to being on your, in your class. And so I love to talk on subjects that are interesting to me. And I'll bring a passage that we read, and then we watch maybe a little YouTube video clip, and we have a discussion around that. And so I definitely am a conversationalist. And so some teachers come with like expertise in linguistics, or maybe they teach IELTS, or they teach how to write business letters or something, that they come in with their own strengths, and they teach around that. And so we're seeing a lot of our teachers just having fun with this. And so we have two different options. Like we have one-on-one classes, and those are definitely fantastic for our teachers. It's 30 minutes with a teacher. The teacher sets their own rates, which I love that too, which is very different from other platforms. And then also we have what we call live classes. And these live classes are where the students can come and watch. And they can just do that. That's all. Or they can pay a subscription for another, like base rate is $10, but a teacher can set their own rate. So they pay for that, and they know that they get 8 lessons with that teacher. And we can have up to 35 students in that live class. And so they can hop on, talk with the teacher, they can use the chat. Those subscribers have some extra benefits that other students don't get. So lots of flexibility as we get to set our own rates. And we also get to bring our own curriculum and material, things that we're passionate and excited to teach. So
now, before there was some curriculum already made. Can teachers still use that when they're getting started, or?
Yes. Yeah. And I just got that all added to our teacher resource page. So then teachers can go and access all of that. I want to say we have about 8 to 10 different curriculum. Like there's 8 lessons in each of those different categories. So we have one that's about the OPIC exam. We have one that's all about, traveling the world. We have one about love and dating. Yeah. I mean, there's kind of a nice mix there. And it's got it all laid out. And so you could literally come in and teach that curriculum if you want, just to get started. And then you can expand on it as well. So you could take it and say, ooh, I really love some of these concepts that I'm teaching in this lesson. I could add a few other things to it, and expand that. So
I definitely like the travel ones. Obviously, that's kind of my thing here.
Yeah, it's a good one. That one's definitely been one of our more popular ones. Yeah. And I think love and dating was our next follow-up.
Yeah. That one sounds like fun too, but I think I'd be embarrassed.
And it's an interesting one because we've got students from all around the world, right?
Yeah.
And so some students come and it's almost a new concept for some of them where they're like, oh, dating, like, what is that? Because a lot of these students have arranged marriages, and which is fun because as a teacher, I have learned so much from our students where I end up asking them questions like, wait, tell me how that works.
Right.
It's just I'm just so hold on, let me try that word again. I'm so fascinated with it because it's not in our culture, right? We just, I've never experienced it. So it's really fun. Another thing that I've done for some of my lessons, I will actually take like a holiday that I don't know much about. So like Ramadan, I didn't know much about it. And I just did a class on Ramadan. And of course, students came because they're like, oh yeah, I love this. I want to talk about it. And I really just asked questions. And I was the one that was learning, but got them talking.
Right.
So it's kind of a fun angle to kind of like talk about their interests and do classes on that.
When I worked in Japan, there was a teacher and she would say, kore wa kore, sore wa sore. This is this and that is that. Because I told them, like, I am learning so much. How am I going to get paid for teaching you English? And she's like, well, I am showing you things, but we're talking about it in English. I'm teaching you something I'm comfortable about in English. So I'm using my.
I love it. I have a student just like that.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it.
She taught me how to make sushi one day for her class. And I'm like, I can't take money for this, or we would have coffee chats at the coffee shop. I'm like, this is like my favorite thing to do, So I think it's fun on Hallo to be able to sit and chat and have a coffee chat or something and just,
Totally, 100%. I do one-on-ones with one of my students, and he will take me out to his garden and he'll show me everything that's growing in his garden in India and tell me, like, I had no idea that after a banana tree has produced the bananas, they cut it down and that's it. And then they have to replant a new banana tree. And then, I mean, things that I just didn't know this. And but like you said, for him, it's very engaging because he feels like he's communicating in English. Obviously, he's describing things, and I'm intrigued, and I can ask questions, and it's really just a fun and engaging class for me, just as much as for them. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Love it. Love it.
Yep.
So lots of new changes for Hallo then.
Yes, we definitely have made a big shift. I don't remember when we talked last, I think we were doing courses still. And
it was before courses, or maybe it was just starting courses. Like,
we've definitely made some adjustments. We shifted significantly to courses, and now we're going to a class setting with a lot more flexibility for our teachers. And so I think it's a really good move. Another thing that has just recently been updated, teachers can do live streams, which are different than live classes or the one-on-one classes. These live streams are an opportunity for our teachers to essentially, like YouTube, just click go live, and all of a sudden students will come in and join, and they can participate in the chat. That you can have, as many students that want to come watch, but they can now pay $2 to hop on and have a conversation with you as a teacher and a student. And you can have up to, I think, 6 students right now
to hop on.
Yep, to hop on. And as a teacher, you decide on when that class is going to end. So you could go for a very long time, and it doesn't mean that those 6 that hop on are going to stay the whole time. They might hop on and talk for 30 minutes and then say, okay, I've got to go. And then another one could hop on. And so, I mean, literally it's up to you as the teacher, how long you want to go on those. And so pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a great marketing tool too. You may get paid, you may not, but you're still putting yourself out there. You're marketing for yourself and
Yeah.
showing what you got, how you teach, where
And
you're going to teach from.
yeah, and overall, our student community has loved this new addition, and so I think it gives the teachers a lot more incentive to do these live streams, and like you said, kind of do this marketing. Like, hey, if you guys are liking this, go check out my live class, or let's set up a one-on-one, and then I can help you a little bit more with your pronunciation or whatever it is.
Right. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I like that idea. So, man, we talked about quite a bit already. Teachers can earn money all three different ways that you've mentioned.
Yep.
The live classes, the live streams, and the one-on-ones, right?
Yep.
Perfect. And what are the requirements for teachers that want to get started on Hallo?
Well, so our requirements, we do have like 4 categories for our requirements. One is that we do want native English speakers. That doesn't mean that we won't review applications that come from others who speak English as a second language. But if they're proficient and they do well in their video, then we may consider them. So we do, that is one that we are looking for, but we're open as well to other applicants. As we continue to grow, we're looking at like expanding that and making sure that it's kind of open to a bigger pool of teachers. So, and then of course we prefer that somebody has like some kind of certificate or has some experience, but we are taking teachers with no experience as well. Some of them are coming on as just very new ESL teachers because we know everybody needs to get started somewhere and someplace, right?
Right. So did you say they have to have a degree of some kind or they don't need to?
Oh, no. Like we ask that they have like, it's nice if you have a certificate, like it's on there, like it's preferred. So like if you have a TESOL or a TEFL like certificate, that's fantastic. You don't have to have a 4-year degree or anything like that. And of course, like I said, that experience is really helpful, but it sounds, we're also looking at like broadening that just a bit more because we want to also give other people opportunities that are just new at this and excited. So,
and I mean, the bigger pool of teachers, you and I have talked about this before, the bigger pool of teachers that are diverse, the students have more choices. You know, they want to see different teachers. And just because somebody doesn't have experience in teaching, they might have a great conversational skills that some of these students are looking for. So I think that's great.
Yep. And I do agree with you because we all come with our own strengths. And like you said, somebody may be able to just lead a conversation really well. And so we are, it's put on our application that it's preferred. But again, I say just throw your application in the ring and then we'll see where we go from there. If you're still just barely getting started in the ESL world.
Good.
So, yeah. And just obviously other things like high-speed internet, having a good connection and things like that. And also just payment information, like if you have access to PayPal or if you have a direct deposit and things like that. So those are probably our main 4 requirements for our application. Or our applicants.
Good. So what are what's our hiring process like? You mentioned the application and demo.
Yep. So when you first come to our application, we have like step 1 is to kind of we're calling it kind of like a mini course, but really it's so quick and fast. I mean, it shouldn't take any more than like 15 minutes. But if a teacher wants to know if Hallo is a good fit, they can go to this, they click on step 1 and it takes them through this process of like educating them a little bit more about what Hallo is.
Perfect.
Because we get a lot of applicants that come and they think, oh, it's a platform for kids, and they'll start.
We should have mentioned that earlier, I think. It's for adults.
This is for adults, and I mean, we do have a few kids that will come, but if they do, they should be accompanied with an adult. But it is for adults, and a lot of times I get like applicants that will like just submit like something for kids, and I'm like, okay, they're not. if we're not following like the step-by-step guide to help you understand what Hallo is, it's really important to take a minute and really understand what our platform is about. It helps you do that demo video for the right audience, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's that's step 1. And then the step 2, you want to download the Hallo app on your phone.
Okay.
And I might be getting my steps out of place, but just know this is general. So then you would go and you download the Hallo app, and then you would fill out our application. And when you do that application, as you've made the account with Hallo, you will have a handle. That handle is like your user ID, and that needs to be put into the application as well. And sometimes that gets overlooked a little bit. But it's really important, because if I do hire you, then I have to upgrade your account from a student status to teacher status.
That is probably one of the first number 1 questions I get. Yes, you are signing up as a student, but you do not need to buy anything.
Nope.
But once your application is approved, they will switch you to a teacher. So my handle is at Casey1. So I never know whether I have to put the @ Sometimes I tell people to use the @ symbol, and sometimes I don't. Does it matter?
It really doesn't matter. It's a fair question. It doesn't really matter, because when I have your handle, I just know I can put in @ you can include it, but it's not going to be a deal breaker, because all handles have that first little @ sign.
Yeah. So I always wonder, I'm like, does it auto populate? Am I supposed to put the @ so they know, like, I mean, that's from a referral standpoint. When people use mine, I'm like, I never told them to do it either way.
Well, and that's a good point to put, to mention, when people are filling out an application on there, it asks if you have like another teacher that's referring you. And that's when you would put like Casey's handle in there on that application, because then I have to make sure that she's going to be compensated, because I mean, she is here to coach you and help you along the way and be a support to you. And so once you make your first $100, then she does too. So I think that it's a really good thing to find a coach and somebody that can help you through the process. And so definitely make sure you add Casey's handle to that application as you go about filling it out. So and then once you fill out the application, you also do have a demo video. And that demo video needs to just be about 3 to 5 minutes as a teacher presenting to a classroom. It could be a one-on-one, but just remember, again, it's with adults. And so you're not necessarily having to, it's not, just know most of our students are not, exactly. Our students aren't necessarily beginners. They're a little bit more advanced than, hi, my name is Amy, right? Like, we're not having to do that so much. It would be literally like us putting up some vocab words, or maybe homophones or something like that, and saying, okay, today let's talk about homophones. And then you might show how you would teach those concepts or something. So
that's new than the last time I taught, because I think there was a slide I had to teach, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So we used to provide you the curriculum to teach. Now teachers literally come in and they can teach whatever they want.
3 to 5 minutes of fun. So you get to be creative and make your own.
Yep. And it's way okay for a teacher to come in and say, hey, my name is Jamie. I have been teaching ESL for 5 years, and I am really excited for this opportunity. Let's go ahead and let's teach this class. And then you could, like, it's okay to do like a little intro.
Okay.
And then it's great to have you share your screen as an applicant, because that's what you'll be doing here on Hallo. You'll be sharing your screen, and it helps us see, like, okay, are they tech savvy, right? Like, how to interact and use a screen and circle and whatever you decide to use. Some are using Zoom. I'm not sure all the different features that they're using, but it's just a link that they'll submit. So a lot of teachers will give me a Google Drive link. Just make sure that you've given me approval to view it.
Oh yeah.
So that's one thing that I get a lot of times. I go to watch the video and it says you need permission. So yeah, I know it's kind of a silly step,
because you're sitting down there ready to view these applications, and you're just slowing yourself down, guys.
Yeah, so I have to like kind of go back and forth with the teachers that are applying and be like, oh, I need permission. But if it's a YouTube link, never is there a problem. So you can choose a YouTube link or that Google Drive link, just give me permission. So yeah.
I have my demo up here, I think, on YouTube still. I'll have to go back and look at it.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you had to use curriculum that we provided, which would be fine. So if
I did.
Yeah, if somebody wanted to go ahead and use our curriculum, I'm okay with that too. Yeah. But and then after everybody's like, after all of that, the last step is, it says if you're accepted and hired, it has like a button on the application that's you can click onboard, and then it takes you to another kind of like, again, like a course, but it's like step by step, everything that you would need to do to actually get started on Hallo. Like it shows you how to log in from the website. It tells you like how to start and go live and do a live stream, join live streams and things like that. And it should have everything that you need there. So yeah,
I think some of us veterans need to go back and watch. Maybe not us veterans, maybe just this veteran.
I love it. But yeah, I think we try to improve it to give everybody lots of resources. And when I'm talking about it, I'm like, wow, that sounds really complicated, but it's really not. I hope it's not. Yeah, it's just more like to provide all the right tools. And we do have our Facebook group for teachers that they can join that. And then also now we're going to start doing the first Tuesday of every month. At 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm going to go live, and then I will bring on any teachers that join me. And then I can introduce them to the community. It's a way for our teachers to mingle and get to know each other and just have a fun time on Hallo. And the students love it. They love it. So yep.
And that's on Facebook, or is that on your YouTube channel?
That will be every Tuesday every first Tuesday of the month. And it will be on Hallo.
Hallo.
Yeah. And I'll do my live stream there at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and then teachers can join each other. And so that's a fun mention too. So Casey, if you go live and do a live stream on Hallo, any teacher can join you and hop on and talk with you.
Super fun.
Yeah, and the students love that.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll do. So then new teachers can kind of be introduced. And then also every second Tuesday of the month, we always do our teacher trainings. And this is optional for any of our teachers, but it's a way for us to make announcements, answer questions, and get feedback. And so we're always open to feedback, but that's the second Tuesday. I record it. So if somebody can't come, then I send it out on the newsletter the next week, that link, and then they can go and they can watch it there. So
I love it. Communication, the live streams, the teacher trainings. Yeah, we've been having this discussion on my YouTube channel for other companies as well. Like the ones I think that communicate best with teachers are definitely succeeding, because teachers feel like they're a part of it, and just have that information, So I think the communication is really important. So I love that you guys started the newsletter and everything. So
yeah, it was necessary. It was definitely necessary, and we're hoping that with our Facebook group that we can like build a community there. Right now, it's mostly for just announcements, and then for any like success stories. So we love to hear success stories. So if teachers are like, "Hey, I got my first booking," we'll like, let's get that posted. Or we have some teachers that like teacher Riza. She was like, I ended up having 30 lessons in 1 week, and I was like, oh my god,
I love Riza.
Yeah, so
Riza was my mentor coach. She is amazing too. So. Yeah. Her, do you know her handle? I know it's Riza or Riza.
I think it's just Riza.
Just Riza. Yeah. Rizza. She's she's awesome.
Yep. And both of you like work together so well. And I know that you coach our applicants through everything and just help give them that support. So I think it's great.
Yeah.
Do you actually have like an unofficial Facebook group too? I can't remember.
I do. Yeah.
I think that's great.
I made it, and Riza is a part of it. So we're in there answering questions, and Giselle is in there. And so there's quite a few of us teachers now that are in there.
Cool.
Answering questions and stuff. But
Yeah.
I need to get back in there.
Yeah.
But we're trying to help teachers through. So
I love it.
excellent. Did you have anything else you needed to share or show? Anything we need for everyone to know?
Well, I think as of right now, just know that like our resource page is really helpful for anybody that's just wanting like some FAQs. We have a section there that has like FAQs. Then we have another one that has curriculum. So you can click that and get all the curriculum that we have. And then also you can click on new teachers, and that should have all the information that you need as a new teacher.
Excellent.
So it's still kind of under construction, but it's functional. So,
So they're a newer company. I mean, what, within the last 2 years?
We got established as far as like a company back like in 2000. I mean, it's been like a few years, I think 2017. But I mean, as far as like everything up and like going, really, we've just finalized our model like this last year. Last year.
Very recent. So
yeah. So it's very new and still baby, but we're seeing progress. We're seeing we're gaining momentum, we're growing steadily. And so that's really healthy. And we just are looking for new teachers that are wanting to get into this community and make an impact in somebody's life. That, I mean, English is a universal language. And so we're seeing that our teachers, I don't know, they leave just feeling so enriched. They're not just here now like, oh, I'm just here to make a paycheck. They're and they're like, I love this. This is like too much fun. So.
I loved hanging out with my students during the course too. I would leave there like, so much fun.
No, I was afraid of teaching adults at first.
Really?
Yeah, when I first started teaching adults, I was like, oh, the expectation will be so much higher. It'll be like, but it's almost like I don't leave like physically exhausted anymore. Like,
right. Not a whole lot of TPR, guys.
Right. You don't need a lot of TPR here. I think something that might be helpful for some of our applicants that are looking for or needing some answers here would be that every time there's a class that's created, there is a chat that's also created with your students. So you can communicate with your students that way. And they can also request class too from our.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you might get like a request, and as a teacher, you can accept or decline. And then another thing that's updated is that teachers or students can no longer book a teacher's one-on-one class 6 hours or less. They can't do that anymore. Where before, I think it was like 15 minutes before.
Right.
Some teachers are like, whoa, I just got booked. It was very last minute. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of a new thing for our classes, and things are just going to continue to improve. And so I think if anyone is really wanting to know that like Hallo is still growing. So we're always adjusting and trying to improve. And that's sometimes really exciting and sometimes really infuriating. Like some people might be like, oh, I can't handle like all this growth and change. But we're feeling really solid now. I feel like we're just trying to like polish things now at this point. So much better for our teacher community.
And I think when you're teaching adults, they kind of become your friends, right? You're sitting there having a conversation versus teaching with all of your energy. You're still teaching, but it's more like you're having conversations with friends, or you're teaching a friend something new. So I think it's a lot of fun.
It is 100%. I agree with you. So yeah, I think that we covered quite a bit of the most newest updates and changes to the platform really. So
all right. Well, thank you, Jamie. And to those of you that are listening and stayed here this long, we appreciate you. If you're interested in Hallo, let me know. You can email me at casey.oswald@gmail.com or go to the hallo.tv and go find out teaching information there. I would definitely say read those teacher FAQs that are on there. It definitely helps. You want to be prepared going into it. So
yeah, it's a different animal than probably any other platform that's out there.
yeah.
But it definitely is very rewarding and fun, and you just have to give it a little time. I honestly think, like, Casey, you're a great example of, like, anybody that's done a YouTube channel knows that it takes some time, and it time and some energy and creativity, and that's literally what Hallo is. But there's this opportunity to start making, a side income, a little bit faster, even, I would say. And that's fun because, like, with anytime that you go and have a live class, it should be recorded and saved on your profile.
Okay.
And so then students can go rewatch those. And we have ads that are on those. And so teachers make a little kickback on those ads as well. So that's another way that I don't know if you knew that, but there you go. Yeah. So we just barely added ads. So that's new too. And
wow, awesome. So did you want to shout out your YouTube channel?
Sure. So our YouTube channel, it's just, if you go and you look up Hallo Teacher, if you typed in Hallo Teacher, you'll be able to find where that is for teachers. But if you wanted to go look at our main YouTube channel, which is for our student community, you could go, like, anybody can go check that out as well. Okay. And it's just Hallo. If you typed in Hallo, I think Speak English, then you'll be able to find us there. So those are great options. Our YouTube teacher channel just barely got started. So it's like we were mixing the two and it just didn't work very good. And so we decided, okay, we need to separate.
I know how that is. I have 2 channels.
Oh, do you really? So you were kind of, it ends up just being a little bit messy. And so we were like, we just need to have 2 different channels. So
awesome. Thanks, Jamie. All right, everyone. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, just let me know. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, Casey, you deserve it. Thank you.